Trox, but I think you are correct in that it's not amazing with this.
Good old Death's Dance exists, but still the two items are very strong. So Afreeca will be able to get a lot of control around that mid-game. So far, TeamDynamics have taken the first Dragon as Rich finds Spirit blind with that Q combo. Beyond's going to turn up though as King tries to dive forward, but he has no flash and the pillar is too good. They're able to lock him down. It's 1-for-1 so far. There's now Rich looking to try and lock down Spirit. Double buffs on the Graves. The world end is there and Honey Fruit.
That's really what I like to see. I mean, yeah, I suppose so, but...
I mean, unless, you know, Spirit stacks up all of his defensive passive and stuff like that, and then he gets subjugated.
Yeah.
Bit of value.
There you go. I mean, they chose the Graves into the Trundle. Pretty common. And now they're going to try to force this Dragon here, but Dynamics is in position.
Keen, he's also teleporting in, but now the fight has already started. Slicing Maelstrom halfway through that cooldown, and that means the Dynamics steal away. The Mystic and a Cat, not sure what they're going to be able to do there. As, yeah, they're just going to lose this outer turret. Not enough wave clear. And
not having some kind of like sixth gaming sense, right? And Rich is beginning to show that more and more.
And look at this. The rest of TeamDynamics read the situation as well. They put Shirley towards, because they were doing a lot of these, like, let's just see what happens if we go for the Baron. I mean, unfortunately, at MSC it bit them because they didn't quite make the decisions correctly as Mystic diving forward.
Mystic is so desperately trying to get damage that I think it's going to eventually
picks Keen out from the backline as now Beyond diving forward. Keen does get a decent ulti as the final chapter's brilliant. Doctime's going to go down though, and Keen somehow survives. Rich right in amongst it, but they're missing all of that extra damage. And now Dynamics not going to be able to find this next Drake. It's not the end of the world. One Cloud Drake going over to Afreeca is no worries, but they would have loved a soul at 22 minutes.
That was actually a great play by Keen to flash immediately on the Aphelios. I'm not sure why Duckdown was so far down the lane, just ready to get picked. So you were talking about of Afreeca, but you're just trying not to get burst down by Syndra Kennen like you did in that last fight. If you can solve that and then lifesteal your way up to 100 in a couple of autos like Aphelios does, then you're going to be fine. You're going to be winning the team fights.
Well, Rich is going to find himself a control ward as Cloud Drake will be up in another 15 seconds. Another dredge line is fantastic as the exhaust goes down onto Mystic. Rich finds the backline to that exhaust we were talking about is used on him as he then goes for the escape. And this is what the Dynamics comp wants to do because their AoE healing is quite large with Inspire augmented by the Athene's Unholy Grail. And Afreeca, they're the poke comp, but they're getting poked. As Rich just decides that he wants to solo himself a Dragon Soul.
Yeah, it's like the slow pushback, you know, the front line of the battle is slowly being pushed back, but it's done enough. It's already done its job. Seconds. It's such a beautiful sight to see. We've shaken off the LPL from MSC. We've done enough fighting now. These teams have signed a gentleman's agreement to sit back and do nothing. And as we mentioned before, this is great for TeamDynamics. I mean, the pick potential, it's good, but eventually Duckdom, he's got the, you know, he's building up the items to eventually stop this. And you can see the Baron is getting lower and lower. I think they're just going to get in here. The Graves not there on time.
Yep, all too easy as in goes Rich from the backside as well. Nothing Keen can do as Mystic Arcane shifting backwards. He's going to keep himself alive as they do take down Rich. But the Baron has been taken and now there is 200 years of damage worth bearing down on them. One of the first dredge lines I've seen miss actually, and that's going to get Guga's flash out as well. As somehow this outer turret top lane is still up. And Dynamics, and it's all about Keen and what he can do to lock up the back line while the rest of Afreeca focus down their targets. And Dynamics actually utilize Docdown here as another dredge line comes in. Moonlight Vigil out as well as there's the final chapter Beyond. Very, very low, but Guga, he's very tanky. Now Rich does find Keen, stops him from getting into that back line as Afreeca look like they're not ready to fight right now. They're just trying to bide their time for the best opportunity.
That was a lot used to not get much. You know, you're basically hitting tanks. Beyond has Warmogs. He's fine to take that huge damage.
Oh, Keen in trouble though. Does go golden. As as now Mystic gets caught up with another one. Moonlight Vigil comes out as all of the ultimate cooldown reduction is just insane. Calibrum, yep, everything's just super balanced here over on the Aphelios side of things, but this Elder Dragon is going to make things a whole lot worse. As it does reset a little bit, and yeah, Spirit is just going to get gate kept by Rich. Worldender up once again. Mystic's trying to hit him where he can. Exhaust goes down as now they're trying to pull this one out of the pit. Looks like Dynamics aren't really interested in coin flipping this one.
They are so safe, man.
But look at the base.
Yeah. Meanwhile.
Yeah, Dynamics just had way too much control. Spirit had to actually flash back out as quick draw not available. That is a free Elder Drake, and
he's picked up the dead stance. He's basically full builds now, and I think the timer is up here for Afreeca. I'm really not sure what the team picks for his team's pick comp, but eventually the Syndra is falling off. It's falling off hard. He's Desperellos, and there's now a huge amount of MR on the side of TeamDynamics, so it feels like the Syndra's really doing nothing at this point in time.
Ooh, Dredgeline barely missing on a Mystic there as this inhibitor goes down for free. Top one has respawned, and that one probably likely to go down pretty soon too, as it looks like Dynamics going to play this one by the book. Currently ahead, 11,000 gold, and Afreeca only have a Cloud Drake as far as objectives to talk about. Shelly and Shirley both went to Dynamics. They now have the Cloud Soul. They have 2 Barons. They had an Elder Drake, which still is active for another 30 seconds. This is most definitely going to be the end of the game here. Afreeca's comp never really got off the ground, especially not when it needed to. As look at how quickly these Nexus turrets fall down. Spirit getting zoned out by Rich. His famous Aatrox. And these Nexus turrets, they just don't stand a chance. Beyond, down to about half health here as Rich is trying to do what he can. Fly gets flashed on by the Aatrox. Oh my god, just walks away. Cool guys don't look at explosions. And speaking of explosions, the Nexus is dead.
Talk with the team too much. He actually just stayed on stage and he watched the replay immediately. He was going over it in detail. And
has certainly been a while. I remember when it was a case of every single game had a top lane Urgot, but not in that meta anymore, as Guga not going to be able to find any ability to do much here. Zenith Blade missing, and Beyond is just going to say, well, you guys aren't really doing enough just yet. You can see, you can understand what they're doing, trying to make sure that they do punish the bottom lane, and it's going to work out. Ben has to flash. Oh! The flash forward from Guga was so sexy, but not sexy enough, as he's going to go down. First Blood did go over to Dynamics, so theoretically, or have an inkling of what's going on. Beyond just going to move on over to take his red buff. So, Ocean going to be taken down first. We have either a mountain or
a lot of pings now on the Rift Herald because they know that probably Beyond is up towards the top side of the map. And Nidalee, because nothing's going on, she can definitely try to get to work on that as well. We'll have to wait and see. She has a lot of camps for now, so that should be the main priority.
Yep, needs to try and catch up to Beyond. Both of these champions very, very good at just hard farming. Some Bellows, and just some burly boys. Wet noodle fighting towards the top side of the map. Things are very even though. I mean, this Urgot's not necessarily shutting down the Ornn by any means. But Urgot in this comp, I think, is really, really cool. The Fear Beyond Death really will allow Afreeca to snowball these team fights. Yeah. As now, Rich going to try and find his Ornn Horn, gets the knock up there onto Keen, but the Fear Beyond Death is going to arm, and pop goes the Ornn.
Good pick up there. There were a lot of pings on the bottom side Rift Scuttler, and I think they might have seen him on that ward as Huzon might be caught out here too.
Yeah, exactly. Great double taunt to come through as end of the line does get the double proc. Spirit in a bit of trouble. True Shot Barrage coming down as heroic entrance. Flash forward from Beyond just to make sure that the Kitty Cat Lady does go down. Oh, the interruption from Beyond as well as another end of the line is perfect. That was fantastic
on it, or he always gets it.
Yeah, I think he gets it because he killed it. And it doesn't matter, but a team fight's happened here as immediately Spirit just explodes. Keen trying to get into the fight, though. We'll see whether he can actually change this one as Beyond is going to go down very, very low. It takes him a while to die as Mystic is looking to try and take down Dog Thumb. Oh my god, that was beautifully played. As there's a brilliant taunt coming out from Afreeca's mid laner in Fly, and Afreeca, they turn around what looked like a terrible fight start, as Dynamics do manage
in this one, so he's going to be very hard to lock down on the side of TeamDynamics. And they're facing a real struggle ahead of them. They were at least able to pick up that Infernal Drake, which is quite nice. You don't want to give that to the Fed Aphelios and the Fed Urgot in this one.
They might be even more fed, as these two members of Dynamics already a little bit softened up underneath this turret.
Okay.
Orange, what the heck was that? That was a spear from Spirit. Okay, thank goodness. I was like, was that Aphelios somehow? But no.
Yeah, I know.
Not
sometimes
right.
you begin to...
Solar Flare's going to land onto 2. They don't get onto Mystic as Guga. Trying to get through. Rich does find the Ram and gets it onto the Aphelios, but Guga is most likely going to die, and Doctor can't get back into this fight. Fly that picks up that first kill. Now Rich is trying to get out of there, but a beautiful dredge line is also going to land from Ben. And there was absolutely no way that re-engage was going to work. In the meantime, Keen's just chilling up top lane. Getting turret plates. No, not anymore. 16, almost 17 minutes into the game, but he's just going to take down the turret instead. Dynamics have fallen apart. Up to the pace just a little bit here. You mentioned it through the Herald in the mid lane, and then move towards this Mountain Drake, and that's exactly what Afreeca are going to do. Disdains his way out. Beyond avoiding one of these spears here, as Mystic will just get to work killing all of these creeps. And Kuzan going to get a snare onto Fly. Just not a lot of damage. Now we're looking for a taunt. Does land here as Afreeca are just going to group in the mid lane. They will be able to take down that turret. Solar Flare stuns 3, which is fantastic, but Mystic is not one of them. Rich doesn't have his ultimate available just yet. Good double knock up there with just his charge. But he just dies. I'm not entirely sure what the plan was.
Oh, okay.
Aphelios is, yeah,
okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems with his sniper gun and with the Baron this early on, Afreeca are looking to get whatever advantage they can on the map, trying to push mid and bot at the same time.
It's the 1-2-1 with Spirit sort of running around and assisting in side lanes. Working out very well here so far for Afreeca. Feeling pretty textbook, guys. You guys of the collective waiting at home. This is certainly looking like an Afreeca victory.
Oh boy.
And Mystic is having a good time as Kuzan gets a snare onto Keen. The turret's doing a lot of work. As we'll see whether Keen is going to be able to survive this one. True Shot Barrage straight up misses, and we're not going to be able to get any of the throwback, so Kuzan will survive for the moment. Keen does fall down, but he buys a lot of space for his team to take down both inner turrets in mid and bot lane.
Yeah, a worthy sacrifice.
The Baron is available. Mountain Drake up in a minute and a half, which will be the Mountain Soul. Dynamics desperately trying to find whatever vision control they can get their hands on. Right now you can see how many Afreeca has in the area. Control ward's going down, but Spirit will immediately get rid of that. Mystic just waiting behind the rock, looking for an opportunity to kill everyone.
He's not really scared of much, as they don't have too much CC. I like the idea of adding in the Ornn if you're going to go with Ezreal Graves Karma again for that extra range lockdown. You're going to try to struggle to get in here. I don't think it's going to work.
Yep, Beyond is going to be over to the side, but they are going to pull off the Baron. Heroic entrance is good, making sure they keep Mystic safe. His health bar is full. That means that Afreeca are winning. Guga's going to go down. Rich trying to dive in as Mystic going down low. Guga's at least tanky, but look, he's not going to be killing Mystic anytime soon. Doctor now trying to do what he can, but he's softened up some members of Afreeca. Now, I mean, theoretically, you can try and go in for this one as Mystic flashes on top of him. Kuzan and Beyond are still alive. It's Kuzan using that Mantra W to keep himself up. Keen gets a huge heal out of that Primal Surge. It's what happens when it
Mountain Soul, which essentially means that Afreeca still won the fight in a big way.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, they did anyway. They killed more people.
He's kind of left to do his own thing. So if there was going to be a team fight for him to win, I'm going to have to hold that thought.
Yes, we're teleporting into the bottom lane with Baron available. Keen possibly going to go down here, but 1 versus 3 means that it's going to be a bit of a walk to get Dynamics back.
And she did pick that up, so it looks a little bit funny, but eventually does get it, as it's definitely one of the best items for Nidalee anyway. And the game seems to be going long anyway, so we'll see if it can at least stack by the end of this one.
Last game was very, very long, so theoretically you will be able to get full stacks as Guga's going to get pulled back into the team. Flashes away. The ulti comes through. Thankfully, does have a few heals available and the shielding in from the Inspire, and Guga somehow survives. Not bad. Gets the heal out from Doctam just to help him out with the Inspire on top of it. But Afreeca know that Guga's not going to be anywhere near this next fight. They should be able to start this Baron and understand that it's a 5v4 with very big turn opportunities. Oh, Fly waiting off to the side. The vision is perfect here as Rich is going to face check. It's a great taunt. And he's thrown around like a ragdoll. It's most definitely going to go down, not without getting a decent knock-up out first, but that's removing another member from the fight. And yeah, Mystic's on fire. Doing a lot of damage at this Aphelios as he might get all 4 of the Afreeca wins player of the game.
Yeah, I think he will. Good old Aphelios helping him out there. And
as his 4th item, he's going full utility, which is exactly what you want to be doing. Damage is basically irrelevant, especially when you've got a lot of magic damage coming out of Fly now. My god, Rabadon's Death Cap completed as his 4th item. Got a 5th one to come through, which should be a Void Staff. As Afreeca, they've got 5 seconds until the Elder Drake, which will be their next target. True Shot Barrage comes down as that's a lot of damage onto Spirit, but he bounces his way out of the fight. Warnhorn is brilliant. As there's the Fear Beyond Death. Guga's going to go down. Heroic Entrance to come in here as well. Gets the knock-up only onto Rich. As Fly going down low. Mystic, guys, is at full health. And there's the burst damage that we were waiting for. I was just wondering when that fight was going to end, I guess.
yeah, I mean, they're so far ahead at this point. I mean, it's almost 10,000 damage that, as we were saying before, even if they do get the perfect engage, which it was about as close to perfect as you're going to have a chance of in that last fight with the Solar Flare onto multiple with True Shot Barrage coming in, they really just don't take damage. And it looked like Spirit was the one that they got to about half health.
Yeah.
And then he just backed off, healed himself, and
8,300 of healing.
So
not bad, especially when you're considering Nidalee versus Karma, and you did more work than Kuzan did, which is absolutely insane. Rich trying to get rid of Keen, but Keen ignoring him for now. Kuzan's going to move in and at least make him rethink that idea, but the inhibitor's going down in the mid lane. It's taken for free. Mystic's happy to frontline by the looks of things. Infernum Severum is actually a terrible combo when he's this fed. And that's 2 inhibitors. Lickety split, and remember there's an Elder buff, so this is a team fight that you don't really want to take if you're Dynamics. Rich looking to try and throw the ram in. He does manage to nail Mystic. It does no damage as there's a live visual explosion of damage there as immediately it's a triple kill coming through from Fly. Will he be able to get himself the Penta? The answer is no, but it's a cheeky quadra kill with 1 stolen by Spirit, and congratulations Afreeca. Turn the series around and find to be the Leona locked in for the Leona Ezreal combination, and we've got the top lane Lucian out of Rich. I actually really like
but
this.
all that I feel like is not really necessary, especially for Graves, but he might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Yep, might have to flash, does so, as Fly also going to have to flash out of there as Kuzan was coming in. Rich moving on down here, and that's what happens when you have top pressure. Spirit's in trouble, and he is going to be taken down, and the coordination on the... And used it just to get out of the Death's Grasp, so very good timing on the gank from Spirit. Meanwhile, bottom side of the map, Guga not going to be taking too much damage. Thank you very much to Eclipse, but now Mystic does find the double stun. Doctum has been ignited. Ben in trouble. He has to flash away as Doctum's just standing his ground against Mystic here. Not going to fall down. Doctum also going to walk away as the teleports now come in from everyone. Rich grabs that first kill. The Obliterate goes down on top of him. Doctum desperately trying to come back into the fight, but he's not going to be able to. Flash forward as Keen puts him in the death realm, and obliterated is the Ezreal.
Used in that play to secure that kill, but I think it still is pretty worth for the side of Afreeca, as now we might have a gank here.
Yep, no flash available there, and the dredge line is going to land. Fantastic pillar from Spirit as well. Very dead is Kuzan.
Nice. We're able to turn that one around, as good roam timing from Ben is going to get him in position there to shut down the Karma with the flash that you mentioned. They do.
How strong is Keen's back today?
Exactly. It's really just up to what Keen can do as a player is Dynamics are going to try to force this fight.
Yeah, and they force the flash out of Spirit very early. Subjugate not going to be nearly enough as Keen gets chunked by the Truce.
Rich up here with 2 kills of his own is not doing so bad for himself. Might get ganked here, though.
Might. Yep, he absolutely will get ganked as he's put into the death round. Not a lot that Spirit can do here. Just try and back things up as now Rich is trying to win this 1v1 against Keen, but the W's still there, guys. He was always going to die, and Keen was always earlier iterations, to be perfectly honest. But many of you will not actually know what that champion did, because it was now, as Kuzan once again into the nether goes the Q.
Yeah, the heal there from Fly. He wants to get his TP back with the unsealed spellbook.
Yep.
So much focus in the bottom side by Afreeca. They should be able to get this, although...
Yeah, in goes Guga, looking for it. Solar Flare's good, and they just blow up Spirit instantly. Teleport's now coming through thick and fast as Ben down to about half health. There's the culling, soaked by Fly, but that's not what you want as Keen teleports in. Death Realm is going to be there, and immediately he puts Beyond in and tries to take him down. Will be sacrificed, though, as now Guga might be his second target, but the Inspire Shield's going to be too strong, and Keen will fall down. A lot of extra money now into the hands of Doctam as he gets 450 for that kill. As Mystic and Ben, they were just focusing on the minion wave more than anything else. As I think as the dust settles, certainly worked out very well for Dynamics off Guga's engage.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a fight we're going to have to really pick apart the replay because there were so many teleports that came in, but just the bait there, okay.
That flash in onto Mystic. He cleanses, he flashes, tries to get out of there. Fantastic stopwatch from Ben to buy some time as Spirit moves on in. Oh, the Moonlight Vigil lands as Mystic looking for the activation, but doesn't quite get there. Spirit dives in. Guga goes golden, and Kuzan is going to zone Spirit out and Inspire is one hell of an ability here, but doesn't actually have the mantra. And will just lose an inner turret as well. So one of the first times Mystic's ability to rip apart a turret.
Yeah, it was a combination. I think Beyond was up with a Rift Herald, and so Afreeca said maybe we can get this. Nice pillar here, though.
Yeah, in goes Guga. 2 people hit by that True Shot barrage as we're trying to use that Shield of Daybreak to bring down Fly. Gets the flash out there as Kuzan moving on in. You see the AoE coming through, and Doctam is very strong. They have to be careful. Fly continues to get zoned out. Remember, he does have the heroic entrance as Rich off to the side, gets dredge lined. We'll have to try and get out of there if there's no opportunity. As the ulti comes forward, and now Team Dynamics, I don't think they're going to have an opportunity to fight for this Infernal. It's going to be the second Drake going over to Afreeca. The first Infernal of the game. Afreeca just got a hole. Rich once again in dangerous territory, but does have some control wards to walk through. Double control ward to come down into this brush. As Afreeca, they want to fight. Taunt only lands onto Rich, who gets hit by the Moonlight Vigil as well, but in goes Guga looking for it. Oh my god. Death Realm put through immediately. Keen is looking to try and take him down. I don't know whether he's going to be able to get him in time, though, as Keen gets stunned, eventually finds the kill. And now Afreeca are trying to look for this fight. Beyond dives forward, looking in a little bit of trouble here, as that's the mantra to Inspire, as Doctor misses the Q, and Keen is going to be able to pull him back with that Death's Grasp. Surely an afterthought here, put down into the mid lane. Relatively low health bars, but Keen deceptively tanky.
What is that damage? What is going on? He didn't even hit the eye. He's like, when it comes to the team fights, and we haven't even seen the full extent of it yet, because just wait for the late game. I mean, we're only 22 minutes in.
Yeah. And I mean, Ezreal is a very strong late game carry, right? And this is something that we've spoken about. But unfortunately, the amount of nuke potential out of an Aphelios is never something that an Ezreal can compete with.
Yeah.
Because the reason why he's so strong late game is because of the Iceborne Gauntlet in combination with Death's Dance. It's so hard to kill the Ezreal, but it's not actually if you're an Aphelios, because you just kill anyone.
Ezreal is also much harder to play, right? Just like straight up. We're watching Duckdom here in the mid lane, and he has missed like 5 Qs in a row.
Yeah.
6. Make it 6. Like, if your Ezreal is not hitting poke,
well, what's barrage, you hit that one.
Right?
That's a lot of damage. Culling comes down. Good Solar Flare is going to land on to Fly as once again Keen immediately puts Guga into the death round, but this time he does have the Gargoyle Stone Plate. Keen diving on in, still trying to do what he can. Goes golden. Guga still flashing out of the way as so far this is a great fight for Dynamics, and Doctam should be able to clean up. Mystic, though, still alive. Always scary.
The damage concentration out of TeamDynamics was much better, and once they got that first pick, they do what their comp is great at, which is, you know, just shelling a huge amount of damage into one target.
So the shield becomes even more valuable because that burst is far less likely to happen.
Yeah, it's great with effective healing. And we're going to take a look at the gold graph. That's what happens when you lose a team fight and then the Baron. So that's really...
Is it going to be enough, though? Because now is the opportunity for Afreeca to win the game, basically. In 14 seconds' time, that's going to be a really rough one. As Beyond immediately going to utilize his QSS that he's picked up, as now Ben looking for Doctam, gets the depth charge, doing a lot of work as Guga finds himself into the backline, but he's by himself, not actually able to start the fight. But look at the culling, just eating through Afreeca, and Beyond is frontlining as this Graves. He's punished for it, but he's able to quick draw out as, oh my god, 200 years of punishment. As he is able to take down Guga, and Rich has to be careful. Dredgeline's not going to find it, but Mystic does. That is so much damage as the teleport's now coming in. Dynamics trying to keep themselves okay, but Beyond is definitely dead. Dredgeline is going to secure it, as now Kuzan looking for an opportunity, but Fly goes into his Zhonya's, and now Keen gets in. Good night, sweet Kuzan, as Doctam finds himself without any teammates. Arcane shifts over the wall. Rich teleports back in as he had survived.
This is why. I'm glad we get the perfect example. Because even though TeamDynamics were so far ahead,
unless they just... Oh my...
That was close.
That was pretty close,
That was
actually.
close.
Yeah, 3 already. Guga collecting his is really good because he's, in fact, the sole frontline for his team. So now Afreeca possibly going to get flanked here by a Lucian, as Dredgeline once again not going to find the mark. That's Keen. Yeah, he's just going to throw out a Death Realm and see whether he can kill Kuzan, who will have an Inspire Shield. Obliterate, not quite enough there, as Kuzan throws some damage back. The culling once again going to be good, but once again, Mystic does do a lot of work. But they do have very low health bars. Beyond almost just gets 2 hit by this Aphelios, as Ben's going to go down. Heroic entrance, not quite enough there, as Doctam's going to grab him. Mystic, he's going to answer back, but is it going to be enough? The answer is no for now, as Rich is off to the side. True Shot Barrage almost takes down Keen. Mystic going to gameplay them to death, though, as you can see. Relentless Pursuit's going to have to get him out of there, as, oh no, killed by the death.
As Afreeca going to just push in here into mid.
Yeah, we're still sieging an outer turret, by the way. Pretty ridiculous at this stage of the game. 35 minutes in, the culling just used to soften up the members of Afreeca while the Dynamics
say, oh, we need this red buff before we start. But look at Keen. He's just going to solo it. And if they lose the Elder against Aphelios, I mean, you might as well just type out the GG right now.
That True Shot Barrage did not find Keen, who, like you say, is soloing out this Elder Drake. Dynamics are not going to be able to get here, just straight up. It's down to 4,000 health. Rich coming on in. Ben is in a little bit of trouble, as the rest of Dynamics will get here, so it's likely to be a 50-50. The culling flies in, but the Elder Drake is taken by Afreeca. Feels like it's all but over as the Aphelios is doing work, but it's 1-for-1 so far. Both supports are falling down. Rich trying to win this fight against Keen, but he's not going to be able to. Not a chance.
Not just yet, but he can easily charge that one up. And we're reaching full builds here.
Yeah, Mystic just going to be melee face tanking this Baron. His control ward goes into the pit. They know exactly what's going on. Ben off to the side as Keen just booking it right into the members of TeamDynamics. He, of course, can do that. Is now Rich trying to soften him up. Another Dredgeline's going to land. This time onto Guga. Not exactly the target that they want, but he's still going down like he's made of butter. Now Doctam in the Death Realm, I believe. No, he's not. It's in fact Keen moving on past him, trying to fight Beyond. As Ben is very, very low. Dredgeline not going to find the mark as Rich finds a fantastic culling off to the side, but Beyond is going to fall because Mystic does a hell of a lot of damage, but Dynamics still able to potentially get some work done here, but look, Mystic is still alive. And that is the one thing that you need to worry about, as Afreeca finally may have done.
And gets in the front there with the Zhonyas, and then Doctam, in a moment of desperation, thinks that he can stand up to Mr. Years, and it does not work out very well. Flashes the wall, immediately gets burst down and dies. Now we'll have to wait and see if they can end it from here. There's very long death timers, but not gonna push it.
As Barons to collect. They give double Thorn Mail.
Yeah, double Thorn Mail. They got so many death stances. the culling does so much damage, Ezreal does so much damage, it doesn't seem to matter, because they all just soak it all.
All right, Dynamics, this is your last chance to try and go for anything as Beyond trying to get into this pit. He's going to get towards it, but immediately the Graves falls down. Good night, everyone, as Afreeca melts the members of Dynamics. Could it be the quadra kill? Potentially, as Doctum's trying to kite this one out. It's a good arcane shift, but I'm sorry, my friend, it's just not going to be enough. As Keen says, no. That's going to be the ace, finally. Afreeca needed a couple of Elders, a Baron, Infernal Soul, all sorts of things in order to take down Dynamics, but in the end, it was pretty comfortable, as the Nexus will fall at 43 minutes, and we're going to a game number 3.